The history of rogue poisons. Before patch 3.02, rogues had their own class-specific profession where they could make their own poisons. In vanilla, rogues had to level their poison skill to use a core mechanic of their class. Poisons only lasted 30 minutes, had a set amount of charges, didn't scale with anything, and disappeared if you zoned out. That meant every wipe you had to reapply poison, and because they had charges you had to reapply them during fights. To get the poison profession, you simply had to do a quest that tested your rogue skills. Then once you had it, the max skill was based on your level times 5. So at level 60, your poison skill would be at 300. To level poisons, all you had to do was make a ton of lower level poisons, so it was pretty much like leveling up any crafting profession. You could get the materials from your poisons from the shady dealer vendor, from lockboxes, pickpocketing, and herbing. There were certain max level poisons that you could only learn from a recipe, like how you could only get rank 5 deadly poison from AQ. They fixed the zoning problem in patch 1.11, and in patch 2.3 they made poisons last an hour. Then in Wrath, they removed poison professions and just added poisons to vendors. In Mist, they removed poisons from vendors and just made them work like shaman weapon enchants, and that they are just skills with an infinite amount of charges. There have been 8 different poisons for rogues over the years, 2 of which, Instant and Anesthetic, are gone. Instant Poison always did an instant damage every time it procced. The slower the weapon it was applied to, the higher chance it had to proc. In Mist, it was removed and its effect was added to Deadly Poison. Deadly Poison always had a set % chance to proc, which meant you wanted the faster weapon to have this one on it. Before patch 3.3, when this poison reached 5 stacks, it just kept refreshing the stacks and didn't do extra damage. Then it was changed to apply the poison from your other weapon in addition to refreshing the 5 stacks. Since mostly everyone used this ability to proc extra instant poisons, in Mist they removed instant poison and just gave the 5-stack refresh pretty much the same effect as instant poison. Mind-numbing poison has a chance to slow casting speed by 50% or 25% when procced on players. Before Cataclysm, there were no abilities that had separate PvP and PvE effects. Mind-numbing poison had the potential to go up to 130% casting slow in vanilla, and was around 60% normally. Before BC, the effect would stack with the Warlock's Cursed Tongues and Mage's Slow. Then in Wrath, it was changed to slow casting by 30%, which it stayed at until Mist, when they gave it a separate PvP and PvE duration. Crippling Poison is just as slow and hasn't changed much in how it functions. The amount it slowed for has changed a few times, but every time it was around 50 to 70%. Wound Poison was added in BC and at first stacked 5 times, with each stack reducing healing by 10% until it reached 50% at 5 stacks. Then it was changed to how it works today in Wrath. The amount it reduced has changed with Blizzard's changing of it with all classes. Before Kata, this poison, Mortal Strike, and Aim Shot were the only 3 abilities that gave a 50% healing debuff, which was mandatory in competitive PvP. Anesthetic Poison was added in BC and worked like instant poison, except it did less damage and its poison damage caused no threat. Then in Wrath, they added the ability for it to have a 50% chance to remove enrage effects, but it still sucked, as the damage didn't scale with attack power when the other poisons did. The way people used it, because its enrage remove was pretty good, was to make a weapon swap macro into Shiv. You see, Shiv would apply the poison effect instantly, and rogues would swap to a weapon that had the poison on it to Shiv once, then switch back to their other weapon that had a good poison on it. In Cataclysm, they removed this poison and just gave Shiv the ability to remove enrage effects. Leeching Poison and Paralytic Poisons are the 2 poisons added in this. Leeching Poison makes 10% of your damage you do heal yourself, and Paralytic Poison, at 5 stacks, will stun for 4 seconds. This stun is counted as a random stun since it builds up with stacks, so it doesn't share DRs with Cheap Shot or Kidney. And that's it for Rogue Poisons. If you have suggestions for my next history video, just leave it in a comment.